Hello, my name is Ron Newton. I live here in London, Arkansas, and to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm a full-time bladesmith. I've been very blessed. In the year 1998, I received my journeyman smith title. In the year 2000, I received my master smith title, and in 2012, I received my grandmaster smith title. I am a full-time bladesmith, and something that really excites me is having the opportunity the last couple of months to co-design with the Burr King staff some new attachments. These attachments are very exciting for a couple of reasons. They save me a lot of time, but they don't forfeit quality. They speed up a lot of processes, and they don't forfeit the quality. Actually, they've made the quality better in a lot of applications that I can use this setup in, these accessories. And what I'd like to do is allow my friends to show you in this video how to set up these accessories, how to use them, and talk about some of the different things you can do with these new accessories.
Hi, I'm Paul Holly and I'm with Burr King Manufacturing, and today we're going to retrofit a 960-272 to a rotating tilting device that will allow you to run vertical, horizontal when grinding with the Burr King machine. When doing this, there are several different steps that's going to come along with it. The mounting bracket for the controller will now be replaced with a new mounting bracket. The 941 base will be eliminated in this operation. This will be a multiple step operation, and we'll walk through and show you the best ways to go about this. One of the first places you always want to start at is making sure your machine is disconnected from power. As soon as we disconnect the machine from power, we are going to remove the contact wheel guard, and we're also going to take off the back assembly for the tracking wheel. This will make the machine easier to handle when rotating this out for the new devices. So we've disconnected the power to the machine. We're going to take the belt off. Remove the contact wheel. Remove contact wheel guard. We're going to remove the tracking and tensioning device off the frame. Once you remove the two nuts, your tracking device will lift off. It is going to be fairly snug. That should be. There's also going to be grease, probably dirt and grime from use up underneath there. We're going to clean off all of the grease and dirt and grime, and we'll start off fresh with new grease when we do reassembly. If you have the receiver for the articulating arm, it will have to come off for this operation. So the next step we're going to do is loosen the bolts that hold the controller in place. Do not remove them at this time. Just loosen them so that it can kind of hang and easily to get off once you hit that point. You could go ahead and take the bottom two out if you wanted to. Just leave the top ones in place. Now we're going to take out the 4 bolts that hold the motor to the 941 base. This will allow us to completely remove the machine, motor, and controller once we take out the other 2 bolts that we've left loosened on the top side of the control bracket. Now that you have all the bolts out, if you've got a helping hand standing by, it would sure come in helpful. They can balance the machine while you take out the remaining bolts for the controller. At this time, you're ready to move the motor and controller over to a good stable surface. We're going to set the motor and controller to where the motor is setting up on the fan shroud. When you're retrofitting your machine over with the tilting device, you will have to spin the 908 C-face 90 degrees, and doing this you'll have to rotate the location of the two bolts. So when you do this, you'll have to pivot your machine to where the frame allows you to clear to get the bolts out. Pull out the two bolts, and you want to spin this 90 degrees to where you can get to the next set of bolts and put those in place. Now doing this, you do not want to lift up on the C-face doing so. If you do, the locating mechanism of that is going to pop out of place and you'll lose all belt tension and more than likely pop the belt off to where you'll have to dismantle the frame. Here's a close-up of what the inside looks like. The inside lip here is catching right on the inside of the motor lip. This keeps everything located. So try not to lift up when you pull these two bolts out. Just take them out, spin it to 90 degrees, put the bolts back in place so that it won't fall apart on you. With the motor up on the fan shroud, this is going to be the time to rotate the C-face. With the weight of the frame pushing down on the C-face, we should not lose the belt tension because we're going to keep the C-face locked down into the groove. So we're going to take these two bolts out. We're going to spin the C-face 90 degrees. Get to the next set of bolts that's already machined into the motor C-face. And snug those back down before we lose it. At this time, we're going to get the new tilting device and the new controller bracket and start mounting the motor to the tilting device with the controller bracket in between. Here is our tilting device. The new controller bracket. And with someone kind of holding that in place, we're going to pivot the machine around and the motor having this on the edge of the cart or a firm surface works real nice so that the machine can actually kind of overhang while you locate the holes. Okay. It's kind of tough. Once you get one bolt started, things will line up a little bit easier. Okay, we've tightened the motor back up to the rotating base. While we have good access to the bottom side of the frame, we're going to go ahead and install the articulating arm receiver if you have this. We're going to snug up the bolts that lock the rotating device in place. And at this time, we're going to reattach the variable speed controller to the controller bracket. We're going to make sure the machine is stable, maybe lay it back down on its side so we don't have to worry about it tipping over. And at this time, we're going to move back over to our pedestal and remove the 941 base and the old controller bracket. You'll want to save this hardware, and we'll use the same hardware that was attaching the 941 bracket to the pedestal as we're going to use attaching the new rotating device to the pedestal. Once you get one started, the other three will locate real easily. At this time, we're going to start to reassemble the machine. But as we're reassembling the machine, we want to make sure we keep in mind that we took all of the grease off for our tracking device. So we want to smear a nice layer of grease onto the machine surface around the studs that we're going to be mounting the tracking and tensioning device to. A little bit of grease on the studs will also help everything pivot nicely. Nice and easily slide the tracking tensioning device right in place. Just kind of allow it to work its way right down into place. Once you get it there, your lower bolt right next to the tracking stud is going to have a large washer and a small washer stacked on top of it with a locking nut. The reason why they have locking nuts on them is because you do not want to over tighten it. This device needs to be firm so that you don't get any play with the tracking aspect of the belt, but it also needs to be loose enough that it can pivot so that the direction of the wheel can change for the tracking. I run these snug and then back it off just a little bit. I want to make sure it can move freely, but with no rock. We'll reinstall the contact wheel guard. Reinstall the contact wheel. We're going to put a belt on and check the alignment. And we want to get our contact wheel guard and our platen lined up with the belt. Now you can successfully rotate your grinder vertical or horizontal. If you have any questions while doing this, please feel free to call Burr King at 1-800-621-2748. Thank you.